welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. Gonna get into it, breaking this down, giving you guys the winning plays that you need in order to get to the green in your lineups. Quick reminder before we do that, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to check out my premium package. Link below in the description. You get access to all of my projections, my core plays, my statistics, things like my team stats summary, 4 factors, half court and putback stats, defense transition, offense transition, so that you can put the best plays in your lineup. It's really going to break down the teams that have been struggling in all aspects of the game, the teams that are putting up the most amount of points, the teams that shoot the most amount of three-pointers, the teams that give up the most amount of three-pointers, etc. You get it. It's really detailed stuff. It's all color-coded, so it makes it nice and easy on you. You don't have to sweat it if you have limited time to build your lineups, if you have a lot going on in your life as far as work and all that stuff. I get it. I do too. That's why I created these tools, to make my life easier. Right before lock, I can easily dissect the best plays, put them in my lineups, and be successful in DFS. So that's the goal. So with that being said, don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video for my lock of the night. And let's go ahead and start breaking down the slate today. So as always, we're going to go game by game here. First game on the slate being Philadelphia taking on Detroit. Tobias Harris is going to continue to be out with COVID protocols, so he's not going to be in this one. And that means that's going to be a big usage bump for Joel Embiid. I was really high on Joel Embiid last night. Unfortunately, he really didn't come through for us at his price tag. I think that's going to change, I would hope. I mean, he went 1 for 5 from behind the three-point arc. He had 9 rebounds, 7 assists, still on a bad game. And, you know, if he gets 1 more rebound, 3 more assists, he has put up a triple-double. So that's going to go a long way for you in your fantasy scores and the DraftKings. You get that triple-double bonus. And he's still grading out as one of the best plays on the slate for me tonight. So I'm really liking Joel Embiid, hoping that he can bounce back in this spot tonight. Taking on this Detroit team, and as far as how they're grading out right now on my defensive half-court and putbacks tool, which is what I really like to look at when I'm trying to target bigs, they are the 28th best team in the half-court points per play ranking. They're also pretty good on the offensive glass, though. So that's a little bit of a conflicting report there. But as far as the defense, not really looking the greatest to start the season. Joel Embiid, very good, high-usage guy. And when you're factoring, he's going to get an even bigger usage bump here. He's putting up 1.4 DK points per minute as far as FanDuel is concerned. He's putting up 1.4 FanDuel points per minute as well. So you definitely have to like Joel Embiid in this spot. I know he let us down last night, but I think I'm going to go right back to the well here. And as far as the other guys on Philly that are certainly going to get a big bump up, we talked about all these guys are going to have to take a bump up. Seth Curry, Tyrese Maxey, both going to get a lot more usage with there being no Tobias Harris out there. And I'm certainly going to like them. And last night, I really liked Furkan Korkmaz, and I'm going to continue to like him as well because he's still only 4.7 on DraftKings. So I think he's too cheap for his increased role here, his increased usage. Been producing at a pretty high rate. Unfortunately, he only saw about 26 minutes last night, though, so that's something to keep an eye on. Like, I thought he could see maybe upwards of 30 with there being no Tobias Harris, and we definitely saw a good, healthy combination of him and Niang. And both of those guys I was high on last night. It's looking like in the first look here, I'm not quite as high on Niang. I don't know if he got a price hike here. I would guess he is because he's really not grading out that high in my projections as far as the multiplier. 4.4, I mean, that's still respectable. He put up 27 DraftKings points last night again. So I think he's still going to be a decent play, but he's not grading out quite as friendly for me so far. But that could change as I go along in my projections and upgrade. And then we also saw Ty Bull get a few more minutes out there as well. So Philly side, there's definitely some minutes opening up. On the Detroit side, it's pretty easy where the usage is going as well. It's really all going to go through Jeremiah Grant, Sadiq Bey, and then the young rookie in Cunningham, who's really been struggling so far on the season, but I'm hoping he can get it going. Last time out, these guys were involved in a pretty hefty blowout, so they didn't quite see the run that they typically see. If they can actually see the run that they're supposed to get, that's going to be a good sign. And Cade Cunningham continues to be underpriced at only 4K. Last time out, he only put up 12 DraftKings points, but if you look at his game log, he shot 14 times. He went 0 for 9 from behind the three-point arc. You would hope that he could probably break through and make a few of those shots, and if that's the case, he's going to be a great play, and he's grading out as a great play in my first look here. So that's my first look at that first game. Utah taking on Atlanta. This game right now comes in with a 221 over-under. That's the other thing I want to mention. That Philadelphia-Detroit game is a 208.5 over-under, so that's the lowest total on the slate. So obviously, probably want to have somewhat limited exposure on the Philly side, more so interest because of the usage bump up for those guys, but expected to play at a pretty slow pace. This game, however, is going to be the top scoring game on the slate with a 221 over-under, 5.5 point spread in favor of Utah in the Atlanta-Utah game. Rudy Gobert already has been ruled as out. He has a right heel issue, so that's going to mean Hassan Whiteside, Eric Pascal should be seeing increased roles here. Hassan Whiteside's only 4-1 on DraftKings. He is probable. He should be an absolute smash play here. Production's high. He's going to get plenty of usage, plenty of minutes, you would think. And Hassan Whiteside's always been a good fantasy point producer when he gets the chance. It's just a matter of how many minutes they're really going to be able to play him, but I would tend to think they're going to play him a decent amount of minutes. And then like we talked about, as far as anyone else that's going to impact, we should also see some more Eric Pascal minutes. And his overall price tag on DraftKings is only $3K. So, I mean, that doesn't get much better than that. If he's going to get increased minutes here, he's grading out as a great value in the first look and someone that you could certainly be looking to in your DFS lineup. So that's big news, obviously. And then we're also waiting on Donovan Mitchell news. So if he's out, that's going to, of course, open up even more usage for this Utah side. And these guys are going to become even better smash plays. If Donovan Mitchell's in with no Rudy Gobert, it should be a big usage increase to, not that Rudy Gobert's the biggest usage guy. He's really just a rebounder who pounds glass. But the fact of the matter is these guys are going to have to fill in for more rebounds, etc. So guys like a Bogdanovich on the Utah side, maybe even a Jordan Clarkson, Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles and Bogdanovich, I think, should have more rebounding upside. And at their respective price tags for that reason, you could see them have much bigger games than we're accustomed to based strictly off their rebound volume. So, and then, of course, Hassan Whiteside filling in. On the Atlanta side, it all starts with Trae Young at the top. Obviously, he's going to have the highest upside on his team. He really hasn't had a big game yet so far, and DraftKings continues to make his price tag rise, so I'm not really sure why that is. His matchup will kind of depend on some news. We're waiting on the Donovan Mitchell news, so of course that could change who's squaring up against him. Overall, Utah has been very good defensively, but when you take out Rudy Gobert guarding that rim, things are going to get a lot easier for the Atlanta side because Rudy Gobert is one of the best rim protectors in the league, so Trae Young driving to the bucket, Clint Capella around the rim, John Collins around the rim. Their life is going to be a lot easier with Whiteside being in there. And we have seen Clint Capella's minutes ramp up finally here. They are on a back-to-back, unfortunately, so that's a little bit sketchy, but we were only seeing him play like mid-20s. Now he's been up to 33 minutes the last 2 times out, so that's big news. You definitely don't want to be late to the party on recognizing that because Clint Capella is a great fantasy point producer. The only thing that was holding him back was his minutes. Now he's not on the minutes limit. And John Collins both producing at high rates here. And like I said, both those guys, with there being no Rudy Gobert in there, that is a very big deal for this Utah defense because he's just kind of the anchor. He's the one that's going to be in there deflecting shots, and he's no longer going to be present in this game. Bojan Bogdanovic at 5K specifically is the one that's probably grading out the best for me in this game right now based upon the adjustments of Rudy Gobert not being in. And like I said, I think he's going to get some more rebound upside, grading out good in my projections. So Boston taking on Miami, next game on the slate. This game right now is going to come in with a total of a 215.5 over-under with a 7-point spread in favor of the Miami Heat. A game that could be somewhat sloppy, but at the same time, the usage is pretty condensed for the most part. At the same time, it's tough. These rotations are tough, man, because I say the usage is condensed, but it's kind of tough to tell who's going to have the big game in both these rotations. Like on Boston, let's go ahead and break down their roster. They have Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Robert Williams, Dennis Schroeder, Josh Richardson. All 5 of their starters are great fantasy point producers. Marcus Smart probably being the worst one, but even when he's on, he can really get the job done. But they're all going to be on the court at the same time, you know what I mean? And the same rule is going to apply for Miami. Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, all 3. I think it's a little bit easier on the Miami side because Duncan Robinson and PJ Tucker are kind of fill-in options. Like PJ Tucker mostly out there for his rebounding and defense, whereas Duncan Robinson mostly out there for his sharpshooting abilities. So you can kind of lock in on those 3 being Lowry, Butler, and Adebayo. But on the Boston side, it's like getting a little crazy. Yeah, it's going to come down to really the minutes, the fantasy point per minute production and my projections because that's just kind of what it always comes down to a little bit, but especially when you're dealing with this much of a condensed share. Robert Williams continues to grade out as a tremendous play for me at only 5'8". This guy just produces at a very high rate, putting up 0.95 DK points per minute. And I think he continues to be underpriced. The only thing is, Al Horford in the picture is going to be costing him some upside, some rebounds, etc. We weren't really worrying about that earlier, and now we do have to worry about it. So last couple games, Al Horford's double-digit rebounds. When you look at Robert Williams' numbers, he's been right around like 5 rebounds the last 2 games. So I might have to start to make some adjustments. I don't know. I really like playing Robert Williams too, but then also Marcus Smart at only 5.5 grading out is a great play for me. Duncan Robinson, I talked about a fill-in option, but only 4.2 on DraftKings. He looks like he could certainly provide you some upside at that price tag. And then Bam Adebayo at 8.1 continues to be a great play. I think Bam Adebayo has been underpriced on DraftKings the whole season. Specifically, I mean, last time out we were able to play him at 7.5. Now he's up to 8.1, but even at 8.1, he's still grading out as a pretty good play for me, specifically on DraftKings, like I said. And I am certainly going to be having some interest in him tonight. On FanDuel, Kyle Lowry is priced at a much friendlier price tag over there. So Kyle Lowry at 5 down on FanDuel is grading out as a pretty great play over there. I mean, that's just too cheap. For this guy's upside, 5.9, are you kidding me? I mean, I know he's had some down games, but last time out, put up 40 times 4, 38. That's just not, it's not the appropriate price for Kyle Lowry, his talent, his upside, and his fantasy point production. So definitely like Kyle Lowry over there. Next game, Houston taking on Phoenix. This game right now comes in with a total of a 218 over under, a 10.5 point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. Houston's expected to kind of struggle to keep up in this one. DeAndre Ayton is listed as questionable. That is big news. If he continues to be out, we're going to see JaVale McGee and Frank Kaminsky continue to get some big minutes like we did last game. JaVale McGee continues to be underpriced at only 3.9. Frank Kaminsky continues to be underpriced at only 3.5, and they could both be great fill-in plays for you. Frank the Tank last time seeing 29 minutes, getting a much more heavier usage as far as minutes are concerned in comparison to JaVale McGee. And if everyone's going to be hopping on the JaVale McGee train to get some value, if there is no DeAndre Ayton, I would have no issues with you pivoting to Frank Kaminsky, especially on DraftKings. You can shoot the 3 ball, you can get the rebounds. At that price tag, it's too cheap. On the Houston side of things, if things are going to stay close in this game, it's all going to be on the shoulders of Christian Wood and Kevin Porter Jr. most likely. So if you think the game's going to stay close, I would recommend getting some exposure to these 2 guys because they're going to be the highest usage, highest upside guys. And then you can mix in a Jalen Green as well and a Jae'Sean Tate. But mainly, honestly, I mean, Jae'Sean Tate and Jalen Green both did have big games last time out as well. So, and they're priced a little bit friendlier than those other guys. So it's like I said, the usage is pretty condensed. It's pretty obvious as to where the ball's going on this Houston side of things. As far as anyone that's really grading out the best for me right now, it would be Jae'Sean Tate at only 5.2 as far as his upside at his price tag. And then second on the list would be Eric Gordon at only 4.7 on DraftKings. I think that at his 4.7 price tag, we could certainly see him go out there and have a pretty big game. But he's on the injury report, or was on Tuesday, sorry, but now he's expected to be good. So he's put up 27 DraftKings points last time out. He could certainly go out there and put up 30 plus at this price tag. That's going to definitely treat you good in tournaments. On the Phoenix side, it's pretty simple. It's Devin Booker, it's Chris Paul. If this game stays close, both these guys probably are the ones that are going to be having the biggest games on their team. And if there's no DeAndre Ayton, that's of course going to bump up their usage even more. And then we'll see more usage out of Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder as well. More rebounding upside if there is indeed no DeAndre Ayton in this one. Jay Crowder having a big game last time out with 35.5 DraftKings points. And if you're playing on DraftKings, this is something that I made a mistake on. I was actually trying to switch to Jay Crowder that night, and I couldn't because I designed my roster to where I already had players locked into the guard and forward spot. So I'll fill it in so you guys have a visual. So I already had 2 guys locked in here, so I couldn't be flexible, and my power forward and small forward were locked or something along those lines. And I wasn't able to fix my lineup around to switch to Jay Crowder. So little lesson for you that I should have been following and that I know and I didn't. If you're possibly having to switch to someone, such as in this game, because DeAndre Ayton is listed as questionable and you might want to make some changes to your lineup, try to put your guys in the early game in the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center spot so you have more flexibility in your guard, forward, and utility spot. And don't be dumb like me. So yeah. Last game on the slate, Oklahoma City taking on the LA Lakers. This game comes in with a 217 over under, a 12.5 point spread in favor of the LA Lakers. The Oklahoma City Thunder have been very bad. The LA Lakers, when fully healthy, are a team that I'm not interested in targeting whatsoever because they're all priced up. especially on DraftKings right now. Westbrook is 10-7, LeBron's 10-4, and Anthony Davis is 10-3. And I have zero interest in any of these guys at their price tags if they're all healthy. They're just going to be digging into each other's usage. They're priced way up. I honestly don't get it. These guys should not be priced as high. They're like, I'm sorry, but why would I want to play these guys when I can play let's compare the guys in the price range. A Joel Embiid, who has a huge usage bump up with there being no Tobias Harris. A Jimmy Butler at 9.6, who's the main focal point in his offense, has put up 55, 56, 49, 47 DraftKings points at a much cheaper price tag. A Jaylen Brown, a Jason Tatum, a Devin Booker or Chris Paul, who has all the usage on their offense. Even a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the other side of this game, who is only a 4 and is the focal point in this game staying close. Whereas if the game stays close, Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis could just be on cruise control while Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going off. A Bam Adebayo, you get the point. Like, I don't really want to be targeting anyone on this Lakers side from the high price aspect. As far as anyone on the cheaper end too, like, I'm not really thinking I'm too interested in that either. On the Oklahoma City side, things are certainly different. We have Lou Dort, Darius Bazley priced at a reasonable price. Dario Favors is all the way down to 3-3. I mean, I think Lou Dort and Darius Bazley specifically on DraftKings here really stand out. Only 4-4 and 4-6. If this game's going to stay close, I could certainly see them both having pretty big games here. And they're just underpriced. So both these guys are definitely making sense to me. Lou Dort practiced on Wednesday, expected to come back. And yeah, those two guys are making a lot of sense to me from an upside aspect. Josh Giddey as well is only 5'8". It's really just a matter of this game staying close. Josh Giddey's been great so far in the season. The young rookie really performing well at his 5'8" price tag. Let's go ahead and check out his per minute production here because I think it's got to be high. He's been pretty solid. Josh Giddey putting up 1.08 DK points per minute. That's even better than I thought. That's really good. So Josh Giddey, certainly going to be having a lot of interest in him tonight. So he's another guy that's priced in that mid-range. That's just too cheap. Even if the game doesn't stay close, to be honest, where he's priced right now, I'd be willing to play him, no issues whatsoever. And that is my overall breakdown of this 5-game slate. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Hassan Whiteside. Taking on this Atlanta Hawks team with a big front court in John Collins and Clint Capella. No Rudy Gobert. They're really going to need the size of Hassan Whiteside in this spot. And he has been an absolute fantasy beast when he does get the opportunity. Should get plenty of minutes. Definitely needed with the matchup. I don't think it's possible for this game to go small with John Collins and Clint Capella both in there, which is going to lock in the minutes. Upside for Hassan Whiteside. We know what he's capable of when he's out there. Get him in your lineups because he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Hassan Whiteside, get him in your lineups. Like I said, I don't think it's possible for him to not get the minutes that he deserved in that particular game, especially when you're factoring in the matchup. Love the spot for him. And that is all for me in this one. If you did enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. And I will be live later on, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Really trying to go live as much as possible for you guys. So go ahead and join that stream if you're really wanting to get the latest updates from me, ask questions, and you can check out my premium package. Link below in the description. You get access to all my core plays. You can ask me questions in the Discord all the way up until lock when I log off that live stream at 6:30. I'll be doing my final projections, my core plays, and answering any questions in the Discord. That's all for me, guys. Wish you all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.